everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to 5 Minutes of Awesomism, where Peyton and I introduce you to people, places, and things that we think are really helping turn negativity into awesomism. And we want to thank Oho Sunglasses for being our sponsor. It's TheOhos.com, and use what is the code? Awesomism?
Yes.
Yeah, Awesomism for 20% off?
Yes.
Yeah, 20% off your order. Peyton remembers these things. I don't. Okay. And also thank you, Brandon Hoddy, for always being such a major supporter and letting us use your music. We love your country music, and we love that we get to use it for free. Okay, so Peyton and I we take this product called Teknon. And we today have the founder of Teknon, which he is the CEO of PureLife Health Sciences Group. And by the way, that's the actual name. I had somebody come at me when I was putting it out for the webinar and give me all these scams and say that that was John's company. They are not the same. Please do your research. If you don't understand how to research online, then just please don't go making stories up. John, but it's so frustrating to me. It's so libelous, and I'm just so tired of that stuff. So John and I are friends. We have been personal friends for several years. John is doing so much good in the world. And when I say the world, I mean the world. I don't mean he sits in his house in his neighborhood and comes up with something and says the world. He's traveling around the world. He is changing lives. He has a gut health. Teknon is a gut health formula. John and two other doctors have been the ones that do our webinars. Please, if you're listening to this podcast, go listen to our webinar, because webinars with him is full of amazing information. Peyton and I love Teknon. It is really good. I had to go on clindamycin for a tooth infection, and I had the worst stomach aches no matter what I tried. Whatever the doctors tell you, Teknon's the only thing that made the stomach aches go away. And it is not just blow it in the wind type technology. It is proven. It is phenomenal. And we firsthand know how great it is. Right, Peyton?
Yes.
Yeah. Peyton takes it religiously. Like, he loves it.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because you have said to me before, if he doesn't like the taste of it, Peyton loves the taste of it. Peyton thinks it tastes great, so he drinks it.
It's incredible.
Yeah, see, he loves it. And it really does help us a lot. So we're going to turn it over to John. We're going to let him explain what this is. You're going to want to listen to this podcast multiple times because he's going to give you a wealth of information. So go ahead, John.
Well, Lynn, Peyton, thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to share a little about who we are, what we do, and honestly, why we're so passionate about helping people and families think differently about their health. My name is John Payne, and I am the founder and CEO of PureLife Health Sciences Group and the formulator of Teknon. Now, PureLife is a health sciences research company focused on metabolic health, gut health, nutrigenomics, and the gut-brain connection. At the heart of what we do is one simple idea. Many of the health challenges that people face today, they're not really isolated problems. They're connected through metabolism, inflammation, digestion, nutrient status, the microbiome, and the communication pathways between the gut and the brain. Now, for a long time, people looked at the body in separate categories. If a child had a behavioral or developmental challenge, then it was viewed one way. If an adult had fatigue, weight gain, or blood sugar problems, brain fog, then it was viewed in another way. If someone had digestive issues, then that was put in a completely separate box. The body doesn't operate in separate boxes. It operates as a system with different categories that function together within that system. The gut communicates with the brain. The immune system communicates with the gut. Metabolism affects energy, mood, focus, inflammation, and your ability to recover. And when those systems are out of balance, people start experiencing a wide range of symptoms that may frankly look unrelated on the surface. Now, this is where PureLife focuses its research. We are especially interested in the connection between metabolic dysfunction, gut health, neurological function, and long-term wellness. Our mission is to bring a practical, science-based nutritional solution, to people and their families and communities that are looking for a more complete way to support their health. When people talk about gut health, the first thing they're told and they think and they read about is probiotics. You can't do it that way. Probiotics affect one thing. The wrong probiotic is going to hurt you, not help you. And it takes a lot of research and science before you know which probiotic you actually do need. Now, one of the products, quite frankly, as Lynn said earlier, that we're best known for is Teknon. Teknon is a specialized nutritional protocol designed to support gut-brain metabolic health, because the gut-brain pathways and our metabolic health is tied to everything from the gut all the way through to the brain and all the major organs in between. It is not just a standard probiotic or another gut supplement. It was developed to support multiple systems at once: the gut microbiome, digestive function, gut barrier resilience, immune balance, metabolic stability, mitochondrial function, and gut-brain communication. And what a lot of people aren't aware of is the mitochondria, they're the energy plant in every cell in our body. But if you have any kind of metabolic dysfunction, you always will have a metabolic degradation a mitochondrial degradation in how the mitochondria function. And without the mitochondria, you're going to feel tired and fatigued all the time, every day. But it's also important because I said that wrong. That is most important because most people today are not just dealing with one health issue. A child may have digestive complaints, poor sleep, irritability, food selectivity, and difficulty regulating. An adult may have brain fog, fatigue, digestive problems, inflammation, sugar cravings, and blood sugar instability. Now, these are different people at different ages, but the underlying systems overlap. Teknon was created to help support that internal terrain, the entire internal terrain. A major part of the Teknon story is the gut-brain axis. The gut-brain axis is the communication system between the digestive system and the brain. It involves the microbiome, the immune system, the nervous system, your hormones, inflammatory signaling, and most people in today's world, because of the diets we've been eating since 1945, most people at the least have some form of systemic inflammatory response. Even if it's a low grade one, they have it, it's affecting the body. When the gut gets disrupted, the effects show up far beyond just your digestive issues. That is why Teknon is so meaningful to us. It gives people a structured way to support the gut-brain metabolic system rather than just chasing their symptoms one at a time, because they're all interconnected. Another important part of our work is practitioner education. We believe products alone are not enough. People need to understand why they're taking what they're taking and why they need to take certain things. Practitioners, they need systems. Families need guidance. So PureLife is also developing a clinical education program that we are implementing currently that help practitioners understand the science behind gut-brain metabolic health and how to implement support protocols responsibly, not just prescribe a pill and say everything will be okay. We want to help move the conversation from what system are we treating today to what systems need support. Okay, now that's a very different mindset. Now, we also work internationally. PureLife has relationships and production pathways in both the United States and the Middle East, Europe, Australia. And we are continuing to expand the reach of Teknon and our educational programs globally. Our goal is to work with serious partners who share our mission, helping people improve their quality of life by addressing the deeper biological systems that actually influence our health. What makes PureLife different and Teknon different is, quite frankly, we're not just selling a product. We're trying to build an ecosystem with research, education, practitioner support, international partnerships, and real world application. Honestly, we at PureLife care deeply about children and families. We care about adults who are struggling with metabolic and cognitive issues. We care about the practitioners who want better tools. And we care about helping people understand that their body is not broken into isolated parts. It's a complete interconnected system. If someone listening is a parent, a distributor, or a wellness professional, a practitioner, my message is simple. Please pay attention to the gut-brain metabolic connection. It is one of the most important health conversations of our time. And it's only really come out, in the last few years. And like I said, don't just run to a probiotic, because most times it'll do more harm than good, because it won't be the proper probiotic for what your issues are. At PureLife, our mission is to help people support that connection with better balance, better education, and better nutritional tools, such as Teknon. And this is what Teknon represents. It's more than a gut health product. It is a gut-brain metabolic support protocol designed to help the body restore better balance from the inside out. And Lynn, Peyton, thank you for having me and giving me this opportunity to share the research work and the actual in-field work that we're currently doing. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's our pleasure. I mean, we're really happy. One of the things that I wanted to say, so that anybody that's listening to this, is when we were doing the webinars, I was putting it out to get people to join. We got such positive feedback from people who joined the webinars. But I had one woman come at me and say, basically accuse you of just wanting to sell your Teknon. And this is on his website, which, first of all, that was so laughable to me, because that's what websites are about. People have things on their website about their product, like, it was so childish. It was so beyond comprehension that I kind of almost just had to laugh at it, so I didn't get that angry about it. But what angered me, and I have to say, what angered me about that comment was it came from a position of, I know more than you, instead of really understanding that the reason why we did the webinar, the reason why we're doing the podcast, is because we want to educate people. John is not interested. I mean, obviously, if you go to his website and buy the Teknon, like I've gotten friends to do, and I've bought from it, it's a good thing. But it's not about John. When one of my friends bought a box, John must have sent me 5 text messages about, I want to talk to her. I need to explain this to her. And that's what angered me, is that you're not trying to sell a product. You're not trying to be Costco, CVS, where somebody walks in, grabs something off the shelf, or goes to your to your website and purchases a product. This is about education. And that's something you brought up on there. That's how I got involved with Teknon, is I went to a conference, heard you speak, you and I spoke about it, and I realized that this was so much bigger than go home, shake this container, drink this stuff. It was about the whole entire realm of it. And that's what we were trying to do with the webinars as well as, and the biggest feedback I got from multiple people that came to the webinar, because our webinars were well heard, was this: thank you so much for that information. When I went into the doctor's office, I was able to speak with clarity and ask what I needed to ask, not just be told, oh, it's probably this, here's a prescription, see you later. If that isn't meaningful enough to people, especially in the medical world, I don't know what to tell you. Because People are tired of going and purchasing and purchasing and purchasing and never feeling better. And the fact that you're taking your product, teaching, and bringing it to the distributors with you talking about it to different, like doctors and things like that, that's everything. I guarantee you 90% of these others aren't. That's what makes me angry when people say to me, what's an MLM? No, it's not. An MLM is taking the product, telling 10,000 people that they can make $100,000 by selling the product to their neighbors and their friends. Let me tell you something. John wouldn't even do that because John wouldn't have enough hours in the day to text those people 42 times to tell them what they needed to say. And that's not said in a negative, that's said in a positive, because that's who you are. You are passionate about making changes, not about selling product. And that is why I wanted to do this podcast.
Absolutely, Lynn. Let me add something to that. I've been doing research in metabolic health issues for 50 years. Okay. And the last 20 some of those have been focused on specific, the entire metabolic system. Okay. 27 years. We only introduced our first formula 4 years ago.
Oh, wow. So when I met you, it was like right at the beginning of it.
That is correct. So we only entered because we had done all our research, and we have 93 people in our research department. We'd done all our research. We were only a research company, but I realized what people were doing, what was happening to the children and the families and so on, and they weren't getting what they needed. They were getting, oh, take this. Well, it only affected one element of what was wrong with them, and that isn't going to correct all the systems that are involved in the body. So we focused on the gut-brain axis and how science now knows. When I first started researching this and talking about it, people thought that I was crazy. Science now knows that virtually every disease emanates from the gut. They now know it, okay? And it's being admitted. What we did is we took top researchers in that arena from each area of each system that the body functions on. We worked together to create something because we knew the doctors weren't going to do it. The medical system has forced doctors and the insurance companies. I leave the insurance companies out of it. I have a different description for them, but they forced the doctors into a situation to where they've got to be one of two types of doctors. Most of them. There's still some true healers out there, but most of them, just by the practical economics of it, they either have to become a body count doctor, which means they go through as many people as fast as they can every day, and rely on the copays and what the little insurance will pay them back, or they become a knife doctor, what we call, where they, if you get a hangnail, you need surgery for it because that's the only way they can make any money. There are a few healers. I'm not saying that there aren't any, but there are few and far between. And the problem is they don't have the time. They don't have the time to look at you and your issues and look in depth as to what actually needs to be fixed. I give you an example, neurological issues. Okay. Most of them you can't treat with a neuro, if there is a neurological product out there. But in addition to that, I want to be clear about that. Science now knows things like depression and schizophrenia and autism, etc. They now know that emanates from the gut. It goes through the metabolic pathways, through the vagus nerve, to the lobe of the brain that it's going to affect. Okay, but all of the systems have to work correctly all of the time. You can't just separate way now. Science has spent, big pharmaceutical companies have spent billions of dollars in many years, and I'm going to use autism as an example. Since 1955, they've spent billions of dollars. And today, as of today, there is not one treatment for neurological functions that affect autistic people, not one available in the world. And they have spent billions of dollars and research 1955. How long is that? 45 and 26 years,
Yeah.
a lot of years. Okay. It comes from the gut. If you treat your gut properly, okay, you're going to be able to treat the rest of your issues properly because you get the system in sync. And look, let's just be honest with ourselves. The diet that the average American eats is highly processed foods and sugar based.
Yep.
Our body is not meant. It did not develop. It does not function well on simple carbs, fat, and sugar. Our body was meant to burn fat for sugar, not carbohydrates. We're one of the few mammals that can actually burn both carbs and fat. But what we've done is sledgehammered our entire system with simple carbs and sugar. So now, as things are breaking down, at whatever age it is, a young person, I mean, we were all young at one time. I never thought anything would happen to me.
Right.
Just what I ate, no problem. But when the day came, the old saying, pay me now or pay me later, is true.
Right. Yep.
So look, we were a research organization who realized we had to do something additional. So we started doing that. And when we felt like we had something that was exceptional and the proof of concept studies showed that it was exceptional, then we introduced it to people.
I love it.
And we're here today. And thanks to you and Peyton, we have an opportunity to tell people about it.
No, we appreciate you coming on, and because we really believe in Teknon, Peyton and I. And so we wanted you to be able, and I wanted to give you, because in the webinars, it was a different kind of scenario. The webinars were more to give people the tools to go either learn things that they felt like they didn't understand, or to be able to go talk to their doctor, or to understand things that were really stressing them, which was all around, the concepts that we talked about. Today, I wanted you to talk about what you do and the concept of it, because there's so much misinformation out there about so many things. And people tend to point, because and I get it, I do. I understand better than people realize I do, that there are so many things out there that people are selling so many things that aren't real, or it's a quick fix or whatever. I get all that. But people have got to stop immediately jumping to the cause that because somebody's trying to actually help people with their health, they're doing something wrong, and start understanding that there are people out there, excuse me, whether you agree with them or not, that are really trying to change things for people. And when you find those people like you need to listen and stop immediately deciding that that person is wrong.
I agree.
So, well, thank you so much for coming on here today. And, Peyton and I, also, if you do go to his website, which this is hilarious, but if you do go to his website and you do want to try Teknon, okay, use the code. What is it? Is it Awesomism, or is it It's Team Awesomism?
I think so.
Yeah.
I have to go check myself too.
Yeah, I think I'll put it in the writing for the description, but I'm almost positive it's Team Awesomism, and then you get a discount on your product.
Correct.
So I think it's 10%. So use it. And honestly, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But thank you so much, John, for coming on.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Thanks.
Take care. Take care.
You too.
You too. Bye.
Bye.